Arizona Wildcats are off to a desert hot start. Unbeaten and coming off a 197. That's the seventh best score in school history. Keep it up today. We'll find out right now on the Pac-12 Network. Big Pineapple Express storm is threatening Southern California, but it's not here yet. So there's still time for a Sunday afternoon showdown. There's between number 11 UCLA and number 18 Arizona as the Bruins celebrate their annual Pride Meet inside iconic Poly Pavilion.
The Pride Meet is known to be a fan favorite, and with UCLA hosting this meet, they continue to try to make the world a better, more loving and accepting place.
A lot of reasons to be inside Poly today. Two teams ranked in the top 20 and another capacity crowd live on the Pac-12 Network. Hi everybody, I'm Jim Watson alongside former UCLA star Janae Honest. We sat here a week ago and UCLA had gotten off to kind of a slow start, so I asked the question, what's wrong with UCLA? Well, an hour later they have posted the 5th best score in the country, so now I ask you, are the Bruins back?
They absolutely are back, and like I said before, UCLA has always been on that trend of a steady incline, so I would say today their focus needs to be to have all 6 routines hit. Last week they had a couple falls that they didn't have to count, so their focus should be have all 6 athletes hit so they can just drop the lowest score.
By far their best meet last year, season high on all 4. Their lowest score was a 49-3, and they really put it together individually. They had 11 scores of 9-9 or better, including one from the fantastic freshman Caitlin Rosen on vault.
And this freshman is a force to be reckoned with, the complete package, and that is the reason why she is in the all-around. She has the difficulty, consistency, artistry, and has even grown in her leadership, and she absolutely should remain on the watch list.
Rosen, who grew up locally, said her dream growing up was to someday have a floor routine at UCLA, and now that dream has come true for her. Pac-12 Freshman of the Week. Arizona, undefeated, first time in 6 years. They returned 15 veterans from last year, including Allison Fears, who already has career highs this year on 3 events and the all-around.
And this is a homecoming for her this meet, being from the Temecula area. She is also in the all-around, and her most improved event is vault. She's doing very well. She moved into the anchor spot on the balance beam, and they're really looking for her scores to pop this season, and she is an athlete with high productivity and low maintenance.
Last week, the Cats put up the 7th best score in school history, hitting the 197 mark. Gym Cats have arrived early, and the Bruins bounce back right on time. It all makes for an interesting afternoon. Number 18, Arizona. Number 11, UCLA. In Westwood, live on the Pac-12 Network. Spot, Allison Fears, 9-9.
She's a great bar swinger, and she actually works smarter, not harder, which really benefits the body, so you're not doing a lot of reps, and I mean, it's really a test to the score that she received at a 9-9.
That's a season high for Allison Fears. And you said it before, from Murrieta, which is probably an hour from the UCLA campus. If you factor in traffic, it's 4 hours.
She definitely has family in the building.
Yeah. And this is what I was talking about, going out the slow burn from Muller, who sets a modest 9.75. Then Hargrove, Martin, and McCabe go a little better. Durer really lifted the bar there. And then Fears closes it out with a 9.9. And that's how they're able to get the 49-1, which is just a little under their average for the season, but they salvaged that rotation. Now Arizona goes to the vault, and statistically this is Arizona's weakest event. They average below a 49. They're ranked 33rd in the country. UCLA will move to the bars, where UCLA is nearly a top 20 team, and they might be after today. And a 49-3 last week against Washington, and of course they have Selena Harris in this lineup. She's in the top 10. Bruins began the season with 3 straight road quad meets against 7 opponents, all ranked in the top 6, including number 1 Oklahoma, number 2 Cal, number 3 LSU, Utah, number 5 Alabama at 6. But this is how the nature of collegiate gymnastics now, because they're doing all these early season quads. game is recognizing game. You're getting top-ranked teams against each other right out of the gate.
Yep, and I was speaking with John Court yesterday, and he said, you know, coming to UCLA is always a challenge, but a good challenge because, like you mentioned, two top teams competing against each other. So they're always up for the challenge, and it's really cool that he's always had this consistent mindset going into each meet.
I was talking with John before the meet. I asked him why the quick start. He said, I don't think we regressed at all from last year. They finished the season ranked 21st in the country, their highest finish in 7 years. And he said, you know, in past years we would drop down and then have to pick up. Not so much this year.
And they also have been killing it on the floor exercise as well. You know, last week they scored that 49.5 range, which is exactly where they want to be come regionals and nationals. And they scored that last week too on bars. So they're definitely on that steady incline as well.
Ainsley Creever, the opener on vault for Arizona. Creever, another of the talented freshmen. Again, they have 6 freshmen on their roster, and they're getting time. In fact, the upperclassmen have kind of fallen into roles as specialists. Once again, here's Shea Campbell. So Campbell going 9.875 in the middle of the vault lineup, and she's in the leadoff spot here on bars.
And the reason why she's in that leadoff spot, look at that handstand hold. She really sets the tone for the rest of the bar lineup. She's just so very solid and consistent.
Pac-12 Specialist of the Week has gone 9.9.
Blind landing for the dismount.
Yes.
And found it.
So I guess now that we've seen her in what are probably going to be her only 2 events today, we talk about she's not 100%. She's got a bad calf.
Right. But we talked about how, you know, those athletes that are always ready to be put in regardless of the state of the body, and I think that's just a very champion mindset to have rather than, you know, wanting to sit out and let your body rest, but obviously being smart in those choices. But Shea is always someone you can count on.
It's going to be interesting to see if she actually stays out of the floor lineup. You know she's going to lobby for it now. Here comes Emma Strom, sophomore from Omaha.
Yurchenko full. It was a really good fall. All she really needs to do is just open up her hips a little bit to get a better body position. But good form. Yep, if she were to open up her hips, she would take out that hop at the end, and that will bump up her score.
Strom has been in 2 lineups, the vault and the floor, and she will be again today. Now in her 2nd season, she has posted new career highs in both of her events. 9.85 for Campbell. And Frida Esparza. A couple of years ago, she was 4th at the Pac-12s on this event. Did not compete last year. And she's had a little bit of trouble on this event this year. So personally, this is a big moment for her. At home with some momentum. Trying to go clean on the bars.
Beautiful Maloney, directly connected into a pack salto, and truly I think she's one of the best bar workers in the NCAA, and I'm happy to see that she's finally letting her light shine. She's dynamic, has the difficulty, fights for that landing.
A little wobble on the landing, but you know, I liked at the beginning. It didn't seem like she was rushed. It seemed like she was showing patience early in the routine.
It's really good to be patient, especially on bars. The last thing you want to do is rush. That's one thing I had to learn swinging bars myself. Another look at her dismounts, double layout. Look at Janelle. In heels, that's so impressive.
She's got good elevation. She was jumping before Frida even hit the mat. Back-to-back 9.8s. Once again, here comes Martin. Martin had a 9.775 on the bars in the first rotation.
Gonna see her Yurchenko full.
Had a 9.8 last week, season best.
It was a great landing. She gets good distance, really good form in the air as well. She's very happy with it as well.
Her mom, Margaret, was an elite and college gymnast in Illinois back in the day. She calls her Abigail, so we will at least once today. Teammates call her Abby. You got to keep the moms happy.
You must, especially if they were also in the sport. Yeah.
Or if they have Facebook. You'll hear about it today. 9825 for Esparza here. Once again is Caitlin Rosen. Rosen went 9875 on the vault.
Just beautiful form on the uneven bars.
Always 9.8 or better, including a 9.9.
She's very fluid too. Looks very calm up there. Great handstands. Dismount.
That time Janelle waited for the landing before she reacted. Their teammates right there too.
Yeah. Also love her face as she lands too. Just not questioning it.
Oh,
very sure of herself. Yep, very stoic.
And then lets it go.
and then a dance party.
Breaks it down afterwards. Good for her. All right, same thing for Arizona, getting better as they go along. And here's the only 10-0 start value in the lineup, Malia Hargrove.
I think it's really cool that, you know, usually you'll see teams throw a 10.0 ball with a 1.5 at the end, but they have her in the middle.
Hold it, little step sideways. She's got 9.875 or better on every one this year. Just that right foot stepping out.
Yeah, it was a very dynamic vault though, great form. She could have used a little more block off the horse to help with her rotation, but she was able to find that landing, and like John mentioned, putting her in the middle takes the pressure off.
Rosen, 9.925. So for Rosen, that's a career best for her on vault. By far. Emma Malabuyo. And fought it from the beginning. Maybe just a little too geeked up for it. And that is very uncharacteristic.
Yeah. Maloney back down to the low bar. What she really needs to do now is just kind of calm those nerves and not try to overcompensate. Great handstand right there. Dismount, half in, half out.
And not her best, she wasn't in this event at all last year, rejoined the lineup this year, so, I wonder if there'd be any rust, but you see 9.85 out of her. She went 9.9 at Denver.
Her shoulders were directly above the bar, but I think she just had too much juice, like you mentioned, and shot her toes instead of directly above her a little past the bar, which brought her over, but she did fight for it.
Wow, soft score for Hargrove, only a 9.775. I thought it deserved a little bit better than that. Jessica Castles now for the first time today, the senior from England.
Gachenko full. Significant hop back, but great form in the air. Her legs are squeezed together, which I love about her gymnastics. Her form is beautiful across the board on the events that she does. So yeah, all she needs to do is just flare out to take out that hop, because she has the height, the distance, it's dynamic in the air. So it's really just finding that landing.
She missed the season opener, been back in the lineup the last two meets at a 9.8 against Sacramento State. So in college gymnastics, 6 competes, but only 5 scores. So you can go ahead and erase Malabuyo if the others all come through, beginning with Marzetta Frazier, a former Pac-12 champion on this event. So if you need somebody up after a fall, I don't know, you can do better than Mars.
She's so aggressive on the uneven bars, you can just tell with her tap. A little bit short on her handstands. Double layout. She tried to hold that landing before taking that step, so we'll see what the judges do with that.
Mars had a 9.875 at Vegas earlier this year, but yeah, that's the new, the old college stick is out, can't roll out of your landing.
Yeah, you gotta hold it for 3 seconds.
So right now, Arizona looking to drop Hargrove's 9.775 as everybody else is 9.8 or better. And once again, Fierce in the anchor spot, and they're asking her to come through one more time.
Gachenko full. was really good in the air. It was really the landing. She was kind of stumbling a little bit.
Last week, Stanford, they were good early on in the meet, so there was no rally. They just kept posting good scores across the board. 9.875 for Frazier. Told you she's clutch. And now you're going to hand it off to Harris. So all of a sudden, Malabuyo's score in the middle is starting to fade because you expect Harris to post a big number. And they'll take those 5.
I love how you said expect Harris to put up a big number because she's just exceptional.
But she's top 10 on this event right now in the country. 9.975 at Wasatch last year was her best. She's got 9.95 in Vegas, 9.9 last week at Washington. Hey, it's her fault she spoiled us last year.
She really did.
First team all Pac-12 on all 5 events as a freshman. Perfect.
Huge release move coming up. Beautiful Ray, and she's holding those handstands like she did last week. Handstand once again, difficult connection, full pirouette, finishes in handstand, double layout, and sticks
Judges are gonna have to sharpen the pencil. That was pretty good. I'm not saying that. I'm not gonna say the T word yet. I mean, the handstands were impressive because they were completely vertical and she held them.
Right. One thing I have noticed, when it's a perfect score, it comes up very quickly. Have you noticed that? When it's a 10, they don't really...
Judges look at each other. Yeah. That's certainly going to be north of 9.95, right? 9.95 they gave her, yeah. Well, still early in the season. Judges got to leave themselves room to grow. UCLA halfway home, at home, with a lead over number 18 Arizona.